Hey there, this is Law. Today let's take a look at what will happen to F.Mpen after 300%. Now we all know that monsters right now has very high defense percentage, so skill based classes like Warlock, we will need very high F.Mpen in order to deal effective damage, right? And the damage multiplier for F.Mpen is said to be that it will be doubled if we have more than 150% after reducing off the monsters percentage. So let's just say the monsters right now has 100% of magic defense, right? And for my Warlock right now, I am having 10k on F.Mpen, that gives me 155%, and then my final F.Mpen is 146%, that total up to 301%. So for easy calculation's sake, let's just say I have 200% and monsters is at 100%, that gives me a remaining of 200%, but because I have 200%, that is more than 150, so anything after that will be double. So the remaining 50% will be doubled and becomes 100%, and add on to my 150, that gives me 250% of, I would say, effective penetration, right? So that's 250 and my face value is at 300. So what will happen to that if I add on more F.Mpen onto it? How much more damage efficiency will be added into my damage, right? So let's find out in the training ground right now. Right now in the training ground, I'm going to do this test on Maya. So let's see right now how much damage can I deal on Maya with 301% of F.Mpen. So get my buff and my stacks already up at 4 stacks. So right now I'm dealing 15.38 million, right? 15.38 million on Maya with 301% of F.Mpen. Now I'm gonna use Priest to give me a buff that adds 7% more F.Mpen to my damage. Alright, let's see how much more damage would I get. So over here I'm having this buff right now that gives me 7% more final F.Mpen, and my damage has come to 15.95 million. So 15.38 to 15.95. That is 600k more damage, right? So the increment is about 3.6%. So adding 7% more F.Mpen gives me 3.6% more damage. So the efficiency is about 50%, half, right? So if today I'm adding an additional card that gives me 14%, which is a crap card, 14%, that means I will be expecting about probably 6.9 to 7% of damage increment. So that is only half, right? But this is in the case of me having more than 300% or even more, right, of magic penetration. What if today I'm having less than 300%? Let's find out. Alright, now for the next test, I've actually removed my talisman. So right now I'm left with just 100% on F.Mpen plus 103 on final F.Mpen. That is 203 final F.Mpen. So what will happen when I have less than 300% and I'm given an additional 7% in F.Mpen, right? So let's take a look at my damage right now based on the current damage I'm dealing. After 4 stacks, I will be dealing 5.4 million. So 5407453, right? So this is without the 7% buff. Right now I'm gonna do a buff of 7%, and my damage will come to slightly above 5.5, so 5580525. So that is about 3.2% only. So if we are having lesser than 300% F.Mpen, getting more F.Mpen will only give us 3.2% instead of 3.6% when we have more than 200%. Maybe that's because I'm only having 200% right now, and Maya's magic defense, let's say it has 100%. So 200 minus 100, I'm just left with 100%, and that do not equates to any doubling of F.Mpen because I do not have more than 150 after minusing Maya's magic defense. So would that means that more F.Mpen right now is better? And if we are having lesser than 300%, more magic damage bonus is actually better, right? So what I'm gonna do over here is do a side track on this test. Is that I'm gonna wait for the F.Mpen buff to be gone, and I'll do a magic damage bonus buff after this. So be right back. Okay, now the buff is gone. I'm gonna do a second test, which is to have the priest buff my warlock with magic damage bonus. Again, this is 7%, so we are comparing apple to apple right now. Okay, so again, right now I'm building 5.4 million, so 5407453, and then I'll do a buff. This buff will only last less than 10 seconds, so I can do this pretty quick. Okay, so now the buff is up, so my damage currently will be 5635837. 5635837. Okay, so this seems to be slightly better than previously, which is 5.58. Now is 5.63. This actually gives me a 4.1% boost in damage. So in this test, we can pretty much set the field that if today we are having less than 300% of F.Mpen, getting more magic damage bonus will give you better efficient in terms of damage increase than F.Mpen. But again, without higher F.Mpen in the long run, you probably will have problem dealing damage even when farming, right? Because for skill-based classes, especially for warlock, we cannot fully depend on one side, which is either fully getting onto F.Mpen or fully getting onto magic damage bonus in order for us to get the best out of it. Okay, so this test is just basically to see what is the cost of the damage efficient if we have more than 200% F.Mpen and less than 200% F.Mpen. Of course, now we know that if we are having less than 200% and we want to get some additional boost, it's good to have more magic damage bonus than F.Mpen, and we have more than 200%, we probably get a little bit more on F.Mpen increment as compared to when we have lesser than 300%. If let's say I want to have a effective F.Mpen of 300, alright, back on my first test, I am having a effective of 250%, right? So if let's say right now I want to increase an additional 50%, right, we'll half that off. That means I need to increase at least by 25%, so that after that it doubles, it will be 50, and that adds on to 300 in total, right? After reducing off Maya's magic defense. So let's find out, would that be better? Alright, now for the final test, I'm going to bring up my effective F.Mpen to 300% at least, to see how it goes after adding the buff into it. So I will have my pet on, because my pet gives 28% final F.Mpen. That will increase my current 301 to 329, and after the calculation, that will give me 308 effective F.Mpen. Okay, of course I have other buff with magic damage and also damage bonus, but we're just gonna purely look at what happens from here on after I add in the 7% buff. Okay, so let's bring up my pad, and I'm gonna again set up the buff, get my stacks up before I get the priest to buff me with the additional 7% of F.Mpen. Okay, so here I have 19.6 million. Okay, this is my current damage with effective F.Mpen of 308. Okay, my face value over here right now is 155 plus 174. That is 329. Okay, so 329 gives me 308 of effective F.Mpen on Maya. Now I'm gonna do a buff. Now you'll see how much more am I increasing my damage to. That will be 202, 20.2 million. 20.2 million versus 19.6. That is just 3.2% increase in damage. So it seems like the percentage dropped back to when I have less than 300%, which is I would say between the 200 to 300% range. I'm adding 3.2% for every 7% of F.Mpen. But once I hit 300% of effective F.Mpen, instead of getting 3.7 previously, right now I'm just getting 3.2. And from this test I understand one thing, because, or hypothetically because I've already hit the mark of doubling my F.Mpen, okay, whichever that is after the 150. That means right now every single percent added to my stats is being doubled. That means the 7% buff from the priest is actually giving me 14% instead of 7. That means right now, if we will want to really have a safe gauge, or I would say the optimal gauge of the F.Mpen that we need for current cap. I'm not talking about the upcoming 120 that will need another test, but as of current, the optimal probably will be 325 on face value, because 325 face value will give you 300% of effective F.Mpen. Now if F.Mpen only add so little, what happen if I get more magic damage bonus? I think this is a sidetrack on this video. I'm supposed to focus on F.Mpen, but the outcome surprised me, and now I'm curious on magic damage bonus. Okay, so right now I'm gonna do another test again. So I'm gonna bring back my my buff, but right now I'm gonna have my buff to be magic damage bonus 7%. Okay, instead of F.Mpen 7%, now it's magic damage bonus 7%. Okay, is my pad on? It is. Okay, so right now let's see with magic damage bonus buff. My damage comes to 203,50834. That is actually more than 7% of F.Mpen added. Okay, so let me do a quick calculation over here. 50834 versus 160.3. Now that is a 3.8% increase of damage. Okay, so this is the final one, final test. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna buff both F.Mpen and magic damage bonus up. Okay, so this is the final one. So let's see over here again. So 16, 9, I am going to buff F.Mpen up first, and then now magic damage bonus. Now let's see how much more am I getting. 2100644. So that is 21 million instead of 20.2 million or 20.3 million if I am just getting one of each up. What do I mean? Either one of it up. Okay, so if I were to do a very quick calculation over here, 2100644 196 039. That will give me 7.1% increase in damage. I would like to conclude this is that if we have less than 300% of F.Mpen, yes, we need to get our F.Mpen up because in the future monsters are going to get tougher and tougher. But when it comes to efficiency of per 7% increment of either F.Mpen or magic damage bonus will tend to be more worthwhile if you are just focusing on one. Okay, it will be more worthwhile to have magic damage bonus to increase the damage more than depending on F.Mpen to increase the damage. But having both together is the best. So I hope this video is not too confusing or too dry. Right, I took quite some time to understand how this thing worked in order to have my warlock up, because if you all have been following me, I'm a warlock that doesn't have very high INT. Okay, but some told me that I have a very high F.Mpen, but to myself, I think I can still go on a little bit more. Like I said just now, 325 is the baseline optimal, so that will give me a very good strong base for any bosses or monsters upcoming. And then because pet is not permanent, right, I can't on pet 24/7, so having that strong base is what I'm looking for. And then getting up my magic damage bonus will be the next key focus. If you have any questions or anything they want to discuss, leave it in the comment section below. I'll be glad to exchange pointers with you and understand from your point. If you have any other findings, let's share some pointers. Alright, and with that, I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.